Hey everybody, this is Steve from Mo Life Coaching. Today we're going to be looking at the importance of sleep. Having a reduced amount of sleep in your daily life will have an impact across various different areas. Namely, it will affect your levels of concentration, your ability to perform everyday tasks will be slowed, reaction times, your retaining of information is also affected. But one of the key things that a lot of people forget is when you have reduced sleep, your blood pressure goes up, and when you increase blood pressure it can affect your anxiety levels. So if you are someone who's affected by anxiety levels either on quite a severe basis or something that creeps into your everyday life, stay tuned as I've got some tips that may help. So in the first part of the video, I'm going to give you 3 do nots or don'ts. Now the first one is do not go to bed busy or with stress. It's something that happens a lot. A lot of people try and get in a routine for bed, and that's really important. But if you are feeling overly stressed or you've got a busy mind, especially if you're working late, don't go to bed. Your bed is a place of rest. It's a bit of a solitude chamber for you. It's somewhere where you should be able to go and switch off. If you've got a busy mind, you won't sleep. You'll be thinking about those problems or those tasks in your head when you're trying to sleep, and you'll become frustrated. If you're stressed, your anxiety levels are high, your blood pressure's up, it's not going to allow you to sleep straight away. And by having that time period where you're laying in bed thinking about things, it then becomes a place of stress, and you don't want to relate your bed to a place of stress. So if you're feeling busy and you're feeling stressed, don't go to bed. Second point is do not take work with you. Again, it's a place of solitude, it's a place of rest. If you start associating your bed with a place where you're on your laptop or you're writing down notes, it takes away the emphasis of what that place actually is for. So if you have a place, if you need to work, get out of bed and do it somewhere else. Don't relate your bed to a place of work. It can stop you from falling asleep. And the third one, often talked about, we're all guilty of doing it, especially with iPads and iPhones and things such as that. Don't have too much blue light before bed. What blue light does, it creates a stimulus in your brain. And when your brain is stimulated, it's open to activity, it's more active, it takes time for your brain to sort of switch off and relax. So by having a blue light, it does the opposite. If you're going to do it before you get into bed. Give yourself a good half an hour to relax before you try and fall asleep. Key point. Next, I'm going to give you 3 different techniques to use to try and help you sleep. The first one is try and relieve your focus from the day. And by doing that, listen to things such as sleep sounds. So a lot of waves, a lot of nature sounds. I personally listen to rivers and crashing waves. Due to the fact that I have a busy day, sometimes I find it a little bit difficult if there's nothing going on in the room as such. All I think about is what's going on in my head. By having an external stimulus such as noises, such as sleep sounds, it allows you to focus on that, relax, and then fall into a nice sleep rhythm. Next one, really simple. Pay attention to your heartbeat. When you're in bed, your heartbeat can be a really strong influencer towards relaxation. When you actually first get into bed, it may be a little bit raised. If you focus on it, breathe deeply, do some breathing exercises, and focus on relaxing and slowing your heartbeat, automatically you will be helping yourself fall asleep. Really simple, really effective. And the last one, this is related towards an NLP technique such as submodalities. It's all about looking at stimulus and looking about changing your perception of something when going into that motion. So what I mean by this is, imagine before you go into bed, there's a circle like a hula hoop on the floor. So before you get into bed, you take a moment, you breathe, you focus on what you've done from the day, the stresses, the anxieties, the emotions that are putting you into your daily activity, and leave them there. So as soon as you step into bed or get into bed, everything else is left in that circle, ready for the next day. Once you get out of bed, you move into that circle. So it really helps people get up in the morning also. So it's a really sort of neat double trick. So as you get into bed, leave everything into that circle. Take a moment, take a deep breath, leave everything there, all the stresses and strains from the day. But when you get up in the morning, stand in the circle, do the same thing. Focus on what you've got to do for the day. Think about what's ahead of you, and ultimately that will give you a really good start to the day. So that's my 3 don'ts and my 3 techniques to help you get to sleep. Let me know your feedback below, and if you're watching on YouTube, give me a subscribe. If you'd like more details or want to contact me for a one-on-one session, remember the first one's free. Contact me on www.molife.co.uk or send me an email at steve@molife.co.uk. I'll see you next time.